Do I have all the buttons? And then there's another one over here. That's not the right button. Right? No, that's not the right button. It's this one. And then it's over here. And then it's this one. Right? Yeah, I think that's right. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is April 11th, 2024. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? We're back on 3 streams a week, maybe 4, probably 4. We'll probably stream tomorrow morning. So good to see you. I'm really enjoying our time that we're spending together. Yesterday had a great stream over on the Visual Studio channel talking about authentication and Blazor with .NET 8. Fantastic to teach about that. I have some work to do to get that documentation ready. I've had some conversations with folks on the .NET team. More coming on that in the future. Let me say hello to the chat room. We're broadcasting live to YouTube and Twitch. How you doing there? I normally have YouTube up here on the other screen so that I can make sure that all the things are YouTubing properly. Is that a phrase? YouTubing. So we've got a couple folks watching on YouTube. Most of us are over here on Twitch. Hello. Let me welcome in everybody. TMK, good to see you. Hello, Robert Stefan. Yeah, it's been a while. Lanky Scottish Nerd, hello, good to see you. Arta, how you doing there? No, this isn't new music. We've had this music for a while. I use different music when I'm over on the Visual Studio channel. The music I use on the Visual Studio channel is music that I've licensed from a stock music company. The music that I use here was specifically written for this channel. I commissioned a musician to write that music. Right? Was that the right music? It might not have been the right music, right? Was it this music? No, it wasn't the right music. I had the wrong music playing, and I probably didn't have things switched over properly. How you doing there, Chris Jones? Hello. Arta RZV, good morning. Hello to you, Oz. Yeah, I had the wrong music playing then. Okay, because I didn't have everything finished converting between the two. I had my Stream Deck on my Visual Studio channel profile, not the C# Fritz profile. I thought something didn't sound quite right, and it went a little long. Anyways, good to see you, everybody, and let's dig in. Let's talk a little bit. Yesterday, so for those of you who don't see what the Visual Studio streams, I use TagsApp now live on that stream to show and talk about all the cool things that we're doing with Blazor to show an advanced example, and also to help queue up the many questions that we get during our AMA section on the Visual Studio channel, at .NET channel on YouTube. And yesterday, for some reason, the SignalR push of messages to the waterfall view on TagsApp wasn't working. It wasn't updating and sending new messages that were approved over to that other view. So I want to take a look at that today, get that fixed. I opened a bug live on stream yesterday for it. And we're going to dig in then and continue migrating and getting our Blazor application running inside of a .NET MAUI native application that'll run on Windows and Mac as a desktop application. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll get us into some spaces that we haven't experimented before, and maybe, just maybe, in an upcoming stream, we can recruit some of our .NET MAUI friends to join us and talk a little bit about some of the things that we're doing correct, incorrect, that we can improve in the application. Let me get some music playing in the background here. I'm going to go with the Stream Beats EDM playlist today. And let's go with this song. This is called All for One. There it is right there. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Check it out at streambeats.com. There's all kinds of genres there. I like the EDM and synthwave playlists because they're just groovy and fill in the gaps behind us nicely as we're writing code. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for making this music that we're listening to today. How you doing there, Napalm Codes? Hello, hello. What else happened? So last night I joined our friend Junie Von Esch. I was invited to join her to play some Overwatch. So last night at like 10 o'clock Eastern time, here I am in there, and it was quite Fritz uncensored, let me tell you. So you got to watch and see us playing from her point of view in the game, but you saw me running around, and it was a lot of fun. Yes, a big we are for the Penn State hat. This weekend I'll be at the Penn State blue-white game. This is going to be a very emotional football game for me this weekend. My older daughter is preparing for her final year of college. She's, because of the courses that she's taking, she's not going to be eligible to perform with the marching band. My younger daughter is preparing to ship off to West Virginia University, where West Virginia has extended an invite. She's going to be, she's continuing in the process, but she's been asked back to participate in the West Virginia band. So this weekend's going to be the last time that both Fritz daughters are going to be performing on the same football field. And that's going to be a special moment. The last time on the same football field in front of 110,000 attendees at the football game. So as a parent, you want your children to succeed. As somebody who's been encouraging my two daughters to go and pursue what they want and their enjoyment of music and to be able to perform at a high level in front of an audience. It's something just amazing to see them grow into and succeed at. To see my older daughter perform with the Penn State pep band at NCAA ice hockey tournament matches, at NCAA, at college basketball matches, both men's and women's basketball. To see her perform in college basketball tournament matches, to see her perform at a New Year's 6 bowl game in Atlanta and march down the streets of Atlanta and to see folks from Georgia who have no idea who they are applauding and cheering on the band and my daughter. Amazing. Now the younger daughter's about to take her first step into it, and it's something that is pretty special. Really looking forward to that, because the West Virginia band marches in New York City this Thanksgiving. They're marching in the Thanksgiving Day Parade. So the last time that these two are going to be able to perform together, and knowing that the younger daughter is ready to take it and run with it and perform at Big 12 football games, at parades, in internationally known parades. New York City, it doesn't get any bigger than that. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to encouraging them, and this weekend's going to be it's going to be an emotional time. So thank you, Arda and Robert. Yeah, appreciate it. So it's going to be tough, but it's going to be an amazing event, and I'm really looking forward to it. So this is technically for the football team a scrimmage. It's a practice game. However, the marching band invites up high school students from around the state to meet and learn more about the college program. So that's how they're getting to perform together. All right. What else do we want to talk about? What else do we need to get into before we dive into this? New version of .NET Aspire was released this week. This is Preview 5 was released. They renamed and moved around a bunch of the packages. So packages you might have been referencing are now in more isolated packages. So there was one really big package with all the Azure services in it. That's been broken up so that there are individual packages for various Azure services. So when you want to use them, they're available. Same thing with some of the other high-level, not higher level, but some of the generic services that came in that first block of Aspire hosting, they're now available as separate packages as well. To make it easier to maintain and update and allow other folks to take over the maintenance of those that are more appropriate, right? Like there was a Postgres provider that was built and added into the initial hosting package. And to be able to break that out and allow not the .NET team to manage it, who built it initially to just prove out a concept and make sure that this thing worked. Now other folks that are more appropriately connected to the Postgres ecosystem can take over and manage. And they can, I'm not saying they are doing that, but that flexibility is now possible. So really great to see that. It continues to move forward. We're looking forward to an RTM release next month. There are 2 sessions on .NET Aspire at Build. It's the RTM, and there's only 2 sessions. There is no workshop. There is no lab. So we're trying to do something about that. Stay tuned. I'll have more details for you. I have some meetings this afternoon to go through and discuss, but we're going to try and do something about that. Because we think Aspire is something that's going to enable every developer. We think .NET Aspire is the way to build not just distributed applications, but applications. You're building an application that's going to run on a server somewhere, we got you. You got an application that needs to run on a database and a server, we got you. You need a cache service in there, got you. Service bus, yep, we got one of them too. It's incredibly flexible. It gives you all the power of a real programming language. A real programming language. And not some markup that's written with invisible characters. It does all the things for you. So we're really excited and looking forward to that. We're going to put Tags app into Aspire here. That's coming up. That's coming up in the in the next month. We're going to get Tags app into Aspire. So I like this. I'm going to respond to this right now live. So here's the deal. There's folks that are complaining that are not happy that there are sessions from events that are not available online. Gosh, I can't watch that online. Oh, it's terrible. I'd really like to be able to watch that online. Yeah, it's an in-person event. That's how they work. When you talk to somebody who runs virtual events, we figure out and make everything work online. And I've been referring to .NET Conf as an event you can participate in, because I don't want you to watch it. I want you to participate. I want you to become involved. I want you to get excited. I want you to get immersed. So there's a comment. So I wrote a tweet out here. Gotta admit, I'm smiling when I see folks unhappy that an in-person conference has content not available online. I've got 2 .NET Conf events that I'm planning this year, and all of the content is always available online. You can participate in .NET Conf because the event is about you and getting you excited, educated, and involved with .NET technologies. I'll have more to share when we have dates finalized. And I got a response from Ginny Coy. That's nice, but I do get it that labs, for example, might not work as available online. And my response is quite simple. That's the trick. We can make them available online. And not making them available is a choice. There's lots of instructor-led content on the on youtube.com/.net. There we go. It's a choice. Labs are hard at conferences for a host of reasons. No, they're not. No. I've been giving labs workshops at conferences for going on 10 years. No, they're not. Folks that say they are hard don't know how to do it right. You have a lecturer, you have proctors. You either give folks a standardized configuration, you give folks a configuration someplace, a virtual machine they can log into the cloud and they can use their own machines to interact with, or you let folks use their own machines and you give them a repository of source code that you let them clone, download, and work with, and you answer questions as you lecture and wander around and help folks. Capacity in cloud regions, connection speeds. That's a technology-specific thing that also can be mitigated. You can stand up. You could have, and we used to do this, you could have an on-premises faux cloud server. We did this at one point in the past, and it was so expensive to do, but it's possible to do, that they stopped doing it. You can do that. So, but there are labs, there are lessons that you can learn online when you go to learn.microsoft.com that do provision and give you a sandbox on Azure that you can work with and you can play in at no cost. You don't have to log in or anything. I think you have to log in with a Microsoft account just so that it's associated with you and they know when to clean it up when you're done. You think the best lab you went to was SQL Server 2016 lab for cubes and rollups and advanced processing techniques at Microsoft campus in Detroit. There you go. There you go. But that's not the same experience as having an expert at your shoulder helping you out. In-person conferences, nope. We have ways to fix them. There are ways to address this. And I've seen great success delivering content this way. So, continuing. Let's jump over to Tags App and take a look at this SignalR issue that we ran into yesterday, which felt weird that all of a sudden it just wasn't pushing data into the what's it called? Into the waterfall view. Weird. It should have been doing it. I don't know why. I was just running a development version locally. So let's take a look. Let's dig in there and see what we can find out. So there's the source code for Tags app. It's out there on GitHub. I will share the link to this. It is open source. Anybody can contribute. Anybody can dig in, take a look at that. And I am not typing properly right now, and that feels bad. There we go. There's a link to the source code if you'd like to participate. But I opened this issue yesterday. SignalR pushing messages to the waterfall just wasn't working. So, how do we do this? How do we dig in and fix this? Let's open another command line here. Head over to Tags app. I'm on the main branch, but I'm going to check out a branch called Fix SignalR. Get that synced. Thank you so much. And come on now. There we go. What? Oh, it's just Tags apps SLN. There we go. Start up the Visual Studio. While that's starting, I'm going to split this. Up here, I will go into tagsapp.blazer. I don't know why I feel the need to clear that, but sure. So I've got a lower panel here where I'll work with my Git commands. I've got a top panel where we'll be able to watch and see what's going on with the server. And there's Visual Studio in the background. I'm going to close a couple things there. Okay. I don't need the CS Proj open. And yeah, the files from the Maui app aren't here in this branch, so we'll just close those out. Let's dig in here a little bit, and I'm just gonna run it. Like, let's just start simple. Just run the thing, and let's take a look at what's going on with the messaging here. Try to debug through where things are coming from. And I do purposely want to run the debug. Excuse me. That's not the right project that it's trying to start. And quite frankly, I think we could start to get rid of that. Where is it? Blazor app is the startup project. Here we go. And then I need your help, chat room. I'm going to need you to give me some messages that we can debug, test, and tinker with as we look at here. And put up on the screen. So let's take a look. Is it Aid Atwood? Hello, welcome. Come on. Where's my browser? Oh, no. We ran into this yesterday. Something changed in Chrome, and it will not run. It will not run Blazor applications on the server right now. Not only that, but there's a virus detection that runs inside Chrome that flags WebAssembly code, Blazor WebAssembly code coming off of GitHub. And we picked this up yesterday. Yeah, I'm not going to go through and demo it. But there absolutely is a bug in there. Nobody's admitting to it, but we can recreate it real good in a whole bunch of places. Does TagsApp need a VPAT? VPAT? Help me out with the acronym. How did I lose my... Give me 1 second here. Let me just make sure I have the app settings development. Oh, the database isn't running. No. Voluntary accessibility compliance. I don't think so. I mean, we could. If that's something that somebody's interested in doing, we could. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but we could. There is a certain amount of accessibility that I've tried to accommodate. There's a certain amount that is a little bit trickier to accommodate, and we could do with alternate user interfaces and things. But we'll, yeah. I don't. And logged in. You think I'd pass the AA WCAG? Yeah, I think I would too. Especially because there's light and dark theme. I think I've got appropriate contrast on a bunch of these things, alternate and arias we've tried to keep up with on things here. So you're welcome to open an issue and log it so that we can find it and come back after it later. So, oh, this is probably watching the wrong channel. Providers, and this is something we fixed. Why does that take so long to open? This should be pointing to C# Fritz. Yes. Good. And if I'm using Fluent UI2, I am not. There we go. So I have this feeling that things are running slow. Right? Like, so the problem that we saw yesterday is that the waterfall was not updating when we promoted content. And now it is. I don't know. You know, I just don't know. Right? Like, I don't get it. And there is a resize issue here where it doesn't always resize the panel properly. Right? See, it's not the full size of the image there. And there it is. So, I think I'm going to put this issue, and I'm going to close out this issue with a no problem found resolution, and move on. Unable to recreate problem. Close that. Is there anything else that we want to address here before I dive back into Maui? Don't, no. This is going to need some work. Animated emotes, that's going to take a little bit of work to figure out. Getting the in-memory config. Yeah, right, Evil Gordita? It worked on my machine. This unable to recreate since migrating to Blazor. The issue that we were seeing was we'd Control C to close and it would just hang for a while. I haven't seen that in a while. So there's a couple milestones out here that we've laughably missed. Actually, we got this working. this is working. Updated to allow enable disable of Twitch and Blue Sky. Fixed in, what was the last pull request? It was in 398. Sure. Three other open items. Need a logo icon. Needs updating the README. It does. Dev containers configuration. I haven't seen anything more on this in a while. Look at that. We skipped milestone 5 right to 6. Discord bot. Fail to connect is working on that. A NuGet package for providers. Configuration option. Be able to inject other custom messages. That's not too hard to do. Integration with the .NET Conf. Yeah, that's actually not hard to do, but we're not there. Smooth animations when new cards arrive. Yeah. This I think we did with the relay. Yeah. Fixed with, and it's the relay server. So we can close that. This is why you containerize everything and then just hand out copies of My Machine. Totally. And in fact, this does build containers, right? When we push updates to the main branch, when you see me merge, it does actually generate containers. I thought it was generating containers. I thought it was generating containers. Hang on. I might have just commented that part out. How you doing, Unesco? And yeah, I was turned the other way. It wouldn't recognize it. There's the playwright tests. There's the build the container. That should be building the container. Like, it's right there. Take a quick look. Yeah, push to main. Create Docker image. Publish. 04053 latest. And latest. So is 04053 out there? Tags at Blazor. Yeah. Building image with tag 040 pre. That's not the image version. That was specified. Oh. It built the image, but looks like it's probably overwriting the same package. Yeah. Yeah. So we need to change and update that version number so that when I publish a new I need to make as part of my merge and publish process here that I update that version number to 041 and whatnot. Let's do that. Let's jump back over to main here. Let's do a little maintenance. Just a quick chore to cut a new version here. Let's call it 05. Because there's a bunch of these things are fixed out there. Right? This we should be able to get in. No. Yes, but no. Yeah. Let me go back to. Don't need all of this. Let's delete that extra branch. Right? I would love to get back and working on that LinkedIn provider and the Instagram provider. The queue we can absolutely get into. The SignalR fix, delete that. Good. So, all right, here we go. Is it up a branch? Right, NBGV, and I forget what the commands are. I forget how to do this. Get version. Yeah. So let's do prepare release. Right. Prepare release 050. Well, that didn't work. Nah, I didn't miss too much. It's in use by another process. Okay. Try it again. Okay. Okay. Preparing 050? I don't know. So if I jump back over to main and I go back and say get version. No, it's not on 05. Hey, Lucy.
Lucy Llewellyn just resubscribed for 19 months.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And right, that's the thing about virtual events is and live streams like this is we can make content available remotely. It's the same mentality shift that we take when we start to think about making our applications more accessible to folks. When we want to make our events more accessible to folks, it takes a shift. It takes a culture shift, a mindset shift, and it takes the creation and delivery of technologies and tools and content in a way that makes it more accessible to folks. And we have all those things, and we do those things for .NET Conf, and we're doing more with those things this year. Stay tuned. That didn't do anything. Like, the whole NBGV set version prepare release. Didn't, right? Do I now just say set version 050? Like, okay, it did a thing. Right, and git prepare release 050. NBGV. Where are the tags? Like, I'm not impressed. No, I did that wrong. Tagging 050 release v050. I didn't really want to do that, but whatever. Okay, so now if I go back over here, we do pull requests. Yes. No, I don't want the 040. I want main. 050 release. The NGBV is NerdBank Git versioning. It's a versioning tool that's supposed to manage version numbers of things for you so that all of your libraries and things have the same version number attached to them. And there's a trickle-down effect of this where it will where it'll also label your containers so they have the same version. So there we go. Squash and merge. Yes. So now that should issue a new container 050. Why aren't you running that? If I go back here, it only has one tag. Like, can I create tags from here? No. No. So how do I push a tag into that repository? Like I did a pull request. Stop it. So if I say draft or release, I can't specify a tag. Like, can I do like that? And now it has the tag. Okay. So now can I create a release on that? Now there's a tag here. Sure, generate release notes. Nice. Okay. I'm okay with that. Can I edit that? These rewrote forwarded headers. Let's collapse some of that. That's a... like some of these that are duplicated a bit, we can... Wow. Holy crow. Didn't realize just how much stuff was in there. But, yeah, okay. Update that. So, build and deploy. Which one is it? I think it's this one. Yes, I know. Run it. You say it was requested, but I do not see it. There it is. So that should run and push a new version of the package for us. So let's see what happens. So bug fixes and security improvements, right? You wish app authors would do better release notes in the various app stores? Totally agree. The number of release notes that we get that just say bug fixes, made the app faster, fixed some issues, like, come on. At the very least, give me a link to more details, because you have more details somewhere. Like, right? Jeremy there chiming in, agreeing. Yeah. So let's see. The build here, no, the build process, I mean, it's building Blazor. It takes a little bit. Especially with the size of this application. And this is kind of a small application at this point still. You're in this photo and you don't like it. Acme, I know what you mean. I like that. There it goes. And, yep, running the tests. Looks good. 18, 16 passed. We can definitely do better with writing unit tests for this. Here we go. Setting up .NET SDK. See, that should run so much faster. Like, yeah, it's the same version. Like, So there it is doing the version. Right, and it thinks it's 0.5. So grabbing all the packages that were previously restored. So .NET Restore should just come back immediately. Yeah. Right. And we should get a package here in just a second. And the package is out there, so if you want to download and run the container, you can. So 18 seconds to build. There's the publish as container. So there's publishing the DLL, everything optimized. Changelog added new features, yeah. You find it more acceptable from indies Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Facebook, Google, the trillion-dollar companies coming back and saying, "Oh gosh, I don't have enough time to build that." It's garbage. Come on now. Come on now. You can do a better job of that. So, here we go. And we should now have, right? Jump over here, packages. There it is, 050. So that's got all the latest fixes and things. If you want to download and run it locally, the package is available for you to check out. I'll copy that GitHub link if you want to set up and work with it. So there you go. But what I think more people would really like to do is work with a local installed application that has all these features. And we're going to pivot now and go work on that. So let's take a look here. Git branch. Git checkout feature Maui. And we'll come back to the queue. Let's merge the main branch that we just did there with the version information. That's fine. And actually, 06. Setting version for this release to 060. That's not going to go anywhere or do anything, but it's there. Okay. Let's go back over to Visual Studio. Let's go back over to Visual Studio. And let's talk about how we were migrating things and getting them into the .NET MAUI application, so that we can run, build, and debug and have the exact same Blazor content in both locations. So there's tags at Blazor up there, all of the source, and down here is our desktop application. So set that as the startup project. And if we say run this on the Windows machine, I forget where we left off and what it does at this point. It might not do anything. Let's see what happens. Here we go. This is going to be a problem. If building, debugging the Windows app is going to take this long, like, are you kidding? Might need to do something about that somehow, some way. I don't know why. Don't know how. Hot reload, yeah. Okay, so that is the home page, that the very basic, standard, simple home page that we do have inside of, you know, the thing, inside the Blazor application. So I do have the home page coming over. Okay, that's a fine first step, but it is just a first step. Let's do some of the other things that we know we're going to need in here, like adding a menu bar, adding a status bar at the bottom. And I don't want to do those as Blazor components. I'd rather do those as native components around the Blazor web view, so that, we're taking advantage of those system things. And I completely forget how to do that with .NET MAUI. I don't need that. And I should do some reorganizing of that, but of the milestones, since we're doing the .NET MAUI app. .NET MAUI add menu bar. right? I want to put a menu bar on there. How do we add a menu bar? And I also want to do .NET MAUI add a status bar, right? And this is very much me learning more about .NET MAUI and XAML, because I don't normally do those, with you as we're building and working on these things. Dynamic status bar, how to make a status bar fully transparent. Change the status bar in MAUI. I don't care about Microsoft Build. Go away. I will not be at Microsoft Build. Anybody that's looking for me at Microsoft Build, I will not be at that event. I will be at Philly Code Camp. That's next Friday. If you're in the Philadelphia region, I will be there. I will be teaching about Blazor at Philly Code Camp next Friday. The next event I have after that will be Dev Intersection in the fall. And that's the only in-person event that I have. I've been rejected from a number of conferences and events this year. That's the only other one that I'll be at. So, is this for beginners too? Yes. While we're going to get in and do some advanced things, the AMA is on. Ask me anything. There's a very helpful group of folks here in the chat that are happy to answer questions, get you pointed in the right direction. And I'm happy to pause and kind of talk through some of the things that we're working on here. And I want to encourage and help folks understand and appreciate and have a good time learning about some of these things here. So, yeah. So, why did I... Okay. Let's start with the menu bar. Display a menu bar in a .NET MAUI application. The only Philadelphia near me is in the fridge. Oh, I'm sorry, Johan. Yeah, so I spoke at Svetog in February. Was there another in-person event? I had a customer event that I spoke at in March. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to create menu bar items. Yeah, menu bar items. So content page menu bar items, and then menu bar items. That's it. A content page that defines menu bar items. Yeah, but how do I put them on there? In Mac Catalyst. Catalyst. They're added to the system. Okay, so we're going to do content page dot menu bar items. Okay. So this is very much a local application, single instance. So I'm okay with content menu, menu bar items. There we go. And I guess I add stuff in there. Matt 1567. Matt! Oh, hang on. Matt's starting the first .NET job in 20 days. Excited and stressing. Matt, congratulations! Oh my gosh, we got to celebrate with Matt here. Yeah. 3 weeks out. Okay, all right. What kind of .NET work are you going to be doing? Absolutely. Look at that. Steve with the big congratulations. Locarno, that's a great point there. Be prepared for a wonderful career. I've been working in .NET since 2002, 2003. 20 plus years I've been working with .NET. Not everybody gets to work with it like I do, but it's put my kids into college. It's paid for a house, paid for a couple cars. So good luck, congratulations. Mr. Prezetta with a couple of hearts there. Napalm codes with the congrats. Yeah, big congratulations, right? Welcome. What kinds of things are you going to be working on? You're going to be working on some front end, but slowly doing both. Going to start with .NET 4.8 MVC. Okay, so that version is supported. It is available for folks to work with. Hopefully, your new employer is considering and planning to migrate to .NET 8, .NET 9 at some point in the future, where you're going to get some benefit from improved performance, security enhancements, AI integration. You had a short meeting, Robert? We're celebrating. Our friend Matt here is starting their first .NET job in 3 weeks. So we want to take a second and celebrate there. When you out there, when something big happens in your career, you're moving on, you're changing jobs, you're getting into someplace in the tech community that's cool, that you want to share and celebrate, you want a little bit of encouragement, happy to listen and respond. And of course, folks in our Discord want to encourage you, help answer questions, and get you pointed in the right direction. I like using that phrase a lot, pointed in the right direction. But want to help get you successful. So, Jeremy started in .NET in 0203 as well. Love the variety of projects it has allowed, all with the same framework. Yeah, we're when I go back to the code, we're working in C#, but we're using a front end that's XAML to build native applications. We're going to use the same code that we use to build a website now to build an application that runs natively on the Mac and on Windows. Deflux has been doing this for 5 years and it's been awesome. You want a new job within Blazor. Yeah. I hear you. Okay, so we were starting to define some menu items here. So how do I define menu items? Menu bar item, text, and then we have menu flyout items. Well, I don't really have flyout items at this point. PowerShell is a gateway drug to C#. You're not entirely wrong. Matt says Blazor was weird to start learning because I was used to React, but now you love it. What kinds of things as a React developer were tricky to learn there? I think there's a great place for a Blazor for React developers video blog post series. I've got other content that I want to write, but I think there's a place for it. It is good to have a little bit of both. I didn't set a project command earlier. Project migrating a Blazor application to run in .NET MAUI natively on Mac and Windows. Source at github.com Fritz and Friends tags app. There's the project command. You saw a video from Nick presenting the new SNLX file. It's frustrating to me that we don't have an official video out before the community does. That's frustrating to me. Because he's now put a bunch of questions and uncertainty into people. Why is this being done? What's actually going on here? So our message about why we're doing it, it doesn't matter what we say at this point. It doesn't matter. I sound like The Rock. You want to know why we built the SNLX file? It doesn't matter why you want to know about it. Doesn't matter. Cat's already out of the bag. There is no message to deliver. It's gone. It doesn't matter what we say at this point. Somebody else has already made the statement about it. Poof. Like fairy dust. That moment, that decision, that's literally been decades in the making. Gone. Where are we going with it? We're just trying to simplify commits. That's it. We're trying to simplify your interaction with source control and make it easier for other editors to interact with solution. That's it. You're starting to really appreciate using PowerShell everywhere. Yeah, it is nice. Kind of hate the upgrade paths in the past releases. .NET and Microsoft ecosystem developers are the only folks that complain like this about upgrade paths. Folks in the JavaScript community, when they're told that there's a major change in React, let's Angular, and they have to completely rewrite their application, they don't complain. They just do it. Something to think about. Services and not forgetting to initialize. Okay. Yep. Hey, Rita. Good to see you. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Let me pin that message from the bot. So, there we go. You kind of like it simple XML? Yeah. Right. Make a video? Yeah. I am way behind on a handful of videos, and that's my goal this afternoon. Robson stopped developing web front end a long time ago, and since .NET 6 started developing with Blazor. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Hey, Thindoll, good to see you. How is the answer not just the same reasons for the new CS Proj SDK format? Because it's a different format. It references and includes different things. To be fair, there are some complaints back when AngularJS. There were, but there weren't people literally saying, "I'm going somewhere else. Forget this. I'm going somewhere else." Raymond Chen comes to mind. Yes, Raymond Chen is one of the Microsoft folks that complains about those things. Yes. So, yeah, right? Like a critical tenet that Microsoft has in all of its products is backwards compatibility. The fact that I can do that and bring up a command prompt, the exact same command prompt capability that's been in DOS since 1982, 1981. Like, this is a feature and a command that's been around for 44 years. When it's possible to migrate and upgrade things and move it forward and provide backward capability, Microsoft does it. Bends over backwards to do that. There are times, though, where we do need to let go of things and move forward. And I got into a heated discussion with some customers last week who were complaining, gosh, what do you mean we need to rewrite our application every 5 years? Or not rewrite, I'm sorry. What do you mean we need to upgrade our application every 5 years to a new version of .NET? That's just wrong. Really? You're going to be rewriting your application, your web application, every year because you're going to want to keep putting new UI designs to keep up with new looks and feels that are appropriate on the web. So while you're doing that, why don't you just touch the version of the DLLs and frameworks you're built on and migrate it forward while you're rolling out the new look and feel? Like, you're already doing that. No, I have not done that. Use the Microsoft SQL containers for Linux. Yep, those are available. Yep. It's a lot easier to refactor an entire project if it's dynamic type language. That's funny. That's funny. Like, refactoring a dynamic type language and like, you're not getting any help from a compiler to tell you that it works. So, dates back to before we had computer screens. Yeah. New UI and UX you're going to put into your application every year because you want to keep things looking and feeling fresh. Well, why not just touch the version of the thing and upgrade to the next version? So, project, like when I think about upgrading and maintaining projects, to go back to the comment from Acme about dynamic typing, I don't have a problem with dynamic type languages. I don't. But as a developer, the safety of a compiler that can tell me when things don't match up, when things are lined up right, that's something that I enjoy and that I prefer. If you don't upgrade, you don't have to test. Sure. And then you don't have to patch security updates because your application's already been hooked and rooted. You don't have to test for that either because it already has been, because you didn't patch it and it's still running on the same version of Apache from 2005 that's been rooted and exploited for decades now. Yeah, you don't have to do that. JavaScript date errors. Well, there's a whole nother. Yeah. If you don't upgrade, I don't have to deal with managers questioning why we have to do this extra work. Would you rather maintaining and updating and keeping current with current versions? I'm going to come over here. Maintaining and keeping your application current with current versions of libraries, frameworks, tools, operating systems is like changing the oil in your car. You could choose not to do it. It'll run for a little bit longer than the 3 months that they recommend. You can absolutely do that. It's up to you. Can you run 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years on that same motor oil that was put in there back in January 2022? You might be able to. At some point, it's going to catch up to you. At some point, the car's not going to run quite as well. Might see a little funny colored smoke coming out the tailpipe. Is that okay? It might be. But at some point, you're going to want to change the oil. Do you want to change the oil yourself? Or do you want an expert to come through and swap that out for you? If you maintain and apply security patches, point releases, the patch version releases as they come out every 3 to 6 months, you won't have to rewrite your code. It'll just work and you'll get the patches and you'll be happy and ready to go. But once a year, once every 2 years, you're going to want to do a little bit of extra maintenance and upgrade to the next major version. That's okay. Is it going to take a lot of work? Folks that hang out in this channel, folks that are elsewhere on the internet will tell you upgrading from .NET 7 to .NET 8, pretty easy to do. .NET 6 to .NET 7, no changes necessary. So these are the things that I look at and I say, if you keep up and do the patch releases and you have a good continuous integration system so that you can create a branch and say, well, let's just try applying the 804 security patch, right? 804 was released for .NET 8. Then great. You've got it patched, you're updated, you have the latest security fixes. You should be happy as a clam running forward. But if you don't, Thindall describes it nicely there. It's living abandonware. It's living abandonware. You've abandoned it, but it's critical to your company at some point, to your organization. Jeremy makes a great point here. A good test suite is going to help out a lot there to make sure that upgrading is pretty safe. Having to upgrade every 5 years. Why is your VB script DHTML website broken? Yeah, browsers don't support that anymore. You always viewed it as having parents statically typed languages. Make sure your homework is done before you play. Yeah, there you go. That's a great way to put it, too. Is it free exec? Says, to be frank, some software has lasted 30 years or longer. It has. Yeah. And it's running on a mainframe that was originally built in the 70s. And there is a group of staff that are growing a little bit grayer in the facial hair here that have been maintaining that. And it's becoming more and more difficult to find COBOL programmers to maintain that hardware and that software. It works. It's very reliable. It's not exposed to the outside internet. But it works. At some point, you're going to want to upgrade hardware. A modern mainframe. You can do that. That's maintenance on that. You're going to end up upgrading to new operating systems, new programming languages. At some point, you're going to need to confront maintaining it. It might be the same base source code, but you're going to need to update it. Like, you're not wrong. There is software that has lasted, but it hasn't gone completely untouched in 30 years. It hasn't gone completely untouched. Managers don't like it. They want done and maintenance free, and they can have that. They can absolutely have that, but understand the technical debt that you take on because the world moves on. Those mainframes that were built and existing back in the 70s, how do you access and work with the data from it on your iPad? What did they do? Well, we built a bunch of things that run in front of it that allow you to access it now with the iPad. That isn't leaving that software completely untouched. You've now built a facade that uses the mainframe as storage. You've now converted it from being the primary user interface to being a repository that other things connect to. So you've upgraded it by wrapping it. Some train systems being run off of floppy disks. Yes. For a long time, ATMs were running off of a frozen version of Windows 95, Windows 98. Yes. That many banks are running on COBOL. Yep. Johan says upgrading from .NET 7 to 8 on our biggest repo with 40 packages was one line for target framework, one little breaking change on a single line. Terrific. Did you have some continuous integration, some tests, some things that were able to point that out to you? Right. The time you invest to make continuous integration work for your software gives you the flexibility to not just migrate, but tinker and test different ways to work with your source code. Test is the wrong word there. To tinker and try out new ways to work with your software. We don't have the time or money to be technically mediocre. We can only offer technical excellence. That's a great description there, Locarno. Your company still uses Pascal? Okay. You have software from the 70s in your organization, Chris Jones. Penny wise, pound foolish. It's the question of how do you want to respond when technology shifts, right? 15 years ago, technology shifted, and we all have a black slab of glass that we carry around in our pocket. Technology shifted. How do you respond to that if all of your tech is locked up in a mainframe and everybody has a great time accessing it from 3270 terminals? Well, how do we make that shift? By not keeping up with the technology. Now you've got to get more innovative and solve that technical debt and build facades, proxies in front of it so that you can get into it. It's doable, but I wouldn't say that the software that runs on that mainframe has gone unchanged at that point. Now you've wrapped it and added those facades, right? And I'm using the extreme hypothetical situation here. I don't have any firsthand knowledge of folks doing mainframe wrapping like that. War stories about a company losing source code for running systems. That's happened so much. Yep, legacy support. At some point, banks are going to have to hire mediums to perform seances at startup to retrieve their maintain their COBOL. A bunch of mainframes in Sweden, they literally couldn't get replacement parts for anymore. Yeah. Yeah. They spent $250 million to build a new data center to emulate their old mainframes so they could run old applications instead of put things into cloud, modern technologies, and ecosystems. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Thank you, Xbox. Saying, I'm the experienced man in the internet and you have seen a lot of history. Did I hear about Bitcoin when it was developed? Yes. I I actually participated in one of those Bitcoin giveaways. Hey, if you sign up here and you click the button, we'll put a Bitcoin in a wallet for you in the early 2000s. And I copied that wallet off onto a USB stick, and that USB stick went through the washer and is no more. Not virtualize, emulate. Yeah. You mined Bitcoin when it was worth $50, sold when it was worth $250, and earned about $1,500. Nice. But now it's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Right? Somebody paid a Bitcoin for two pizza pies 10 years ago. Yeah. That's a mistake, isn't it? So AI is going to eventually rewrite it all for us. I hope not. Hey, Jared, welcome. Hey there, is it El Primo on YouTube? Do I have any courses on the web for beginners? Sure do. Check out the playlists on this channel on YouTube. There's a couple of full day workshops that I've taught. Also check out the C# with C# Fritz playlist on the .NET channel. Yeah, and I've got episodes to write and deliver for C# in the cards. I really want to spend like a day writing the next 4 or 5 episodes and then just record them back to back to back and get them published. So let me head back over to the code. Let's dive back in. It's a Netflix series. Hey, Jared, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We are broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. So if you want to bounce back and forth, maybe you can't access Twitch where you work or you want to access it on YouTube, all the videos are available over on the YouTube. So, so let me start adding some menu bar items, right? I mean, I guess there's going to be a couple of these here, right, with clicked event handlers. All right, let's tinker with this and see what we get, right? Right, menu bar item. Like, is there, can I just say, like, text equals waterfall? And no, there is no on click. Like, I don't know. Content? I don't know. And then what do we have in here? Flyout item? Okay. Short text equals waterfall view, right? Clicked equals short, give me a new event handler. Okay. That, I guess that's something. Flyout item, moderation. Actually, are you going to have moderation? Sure, let's do it for now. New event handler. No, let's call this waterfall. Oh boy. Ugh. Waterfall clicked. And this one call moderation clicked. Right? Like those can be a thing, right? Did it? No, it didn't create those. And now I feel sad. Right, and this reminds me of the old Windows Forms days, building applications. Why doesn't it like that? Oh, because I didn't close that. Okay. So is that a thing now? Like, do I now have menus? No, I don't have menus. Can we hot reload? No, we can't hot reload. Sure. Apply those changes. Video editing can take so long. Spent 4 hours editing video yesterday. As you do more, you'll get faster at it. You're working on it. C# Josh is working on an old Delphi Pascal project. Hasn't been maintained. With the ultimate goal of a rewrite to C# later this summer. What a pain. Yeah. Yep. Updates are crucial. Now, why isn't it showing my menu bar? Yep, doing a little bit of Maui today. Would this work to run 2 Blazor areas applications-ish in one page? Maybe. Haven't tried it. Maybe. Why? Why? It didn't give me a menu bar. Like, I added menu bar items. Like, do I have to do something to display the menu bar? Content page, menu bar. Right? Like, content page, menu bar items. So, why didn't I get them? Right? Like, where's the menu bar? Navigation view? I thought navigation view was something else. No, no menu bar. Yeah. Create a menu item. The menu item class contains these. Create a menu item. What? Wait. Display a menu bar. Each top level menu is in the menu bar is represented. These properties are backed by this. That menu bar item objects can be added to the menu bar items collection. Yeah. Content page, menu bar items. Menu bar item. Okay. And a command there. I'm not really. I don't really care so much about that. Like, that's a list view with a menu item. No. like, okay, those are toolbar items. I don't want a toolbar. Right there, look, home. Right? Where'd that come from? And that's content page toolbar items. And right? Toolbar item. So what's that look like? Hey, Eric. No, that doesn't work either. No. Okay. And if I remove the Blazor web view, that says it hot reloaded, but it sure didn't. Yeah, there's code in the code behind that's looking for that. Actually, right, it's over in, no. What's it complaining then? Okay, restart the project, fine. Restart. Nothing. No menu bar, no toolbar. Nothing. No, the web view worked, putting that in there. But is there something I need to do to turn on the menu? I don't want a context menu. Right, I don't want the right click. I want a menu bar. I mean, I don't want to say menu bars don't work. No, this is not Mac Catalyst. This is Windows. I'm on Windows, right? You'd see the stuff up here. Sure, let's ask. Let's ask Bing. How do I add a menu bar to a .NET MAUI application? Like, stop taking time to type and just write the answer. By adding menu bar items to the menu bar items collection. Yeah. This is exactly the learn page that I was coming from. Like, okay. Is there something I have to do to enable it? Do I need to do something to enable the menu bar? Stop. Shut up. What's the content page placed inside of? It's right, it's inside of an application here. And that's where some of these colors and things come from, and we'll update those at some point. No. Okay, well, really? Needs to be in a shell or navigation page. There's Hello World. Where do you see that on the docs? And you're right. Why isn't this on a... shell flyout item? Hey there, Zazroot. Welcome. User interface. Under the Create Menu Bar Items section. Of type on a content page that's hosted in a navigation page or a shell app. And that's not. Okay. So what do I need to change? So do I change my main page to be of type shell? Right? Or do I change... Right? If I change that to shell... Right? I probably have... Right. So this should probably... Yeah, it's been too long since I've worked in .NET MAUI. And... yeah. Eat the broke. It was a lot easier building with Windows Forms and embedding a Blazor web view. A lot easier. Come on. And nope. And there's no bug report that's output there, right? There's nothing saying, "Oh, here's what you did wrong, you idiot." Um Okay, hang on. It said the other option for me was navigation page. What's a navigation page? Well, that's a terrible link. Now I feel sad. It's... What is a navigation page? Perform modeless navigation, manipulate the navigation stack. Why do I need this? It's used to navigate through a stack of content page objects. Okay. A navigation page should only be populated with content page objects. Fine. How do I do that? Main page equals new navigation page. I'm changing this back. this back. Like, those error messages are awful. I need to change the reference in AppXaml. No, it just says new main page. But that's just a page. Where's that defined? No. No. Yeah. Where's it defining and picking up that? But that's the only place that it's referenced. That's inside main page XAML. No. No. Great. But I don't want to actually navigate to other content pages. I want to have the same page, and I want to have a native menu bar that triggers navigation inside the Blazor web view. You can watch me on YouTube instead of Twitch. I'm on YouTube also. So, hi, is it Sykiran? Hello. And then shell content. Yeah. Yeah. What am I completely missing here? Sure, setting up your emulator. I don't care. AppXaml, AppShell XAML. Where did that come from? Like, I don't have one of those. Like, that's not in the template. Really? Really? Sure. It's in the other template. It's not in the Maui hybrid. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay. I still don't see it reference it, and now it says main page, which is just a page. What is that, a standard thing we get? Okay. So if I want to do... If I want to do the same thing here... add new item. Where's the... Yeah. No. Okay. No. Okay. I guess I kind of have to bodge it by hand. Sure. I do something like that. And change this to something like this. I don't know. I don't know. And change this to something like that. And then what goes inside here? Shell content, right. Okay. So then inside here, where it was saying main page equals new that, say new app shell like that. And then, does that work then? Almost out of coffee. No. This should be content page now. Which makes this content page. I don't. Okay. See what we get. It's right there. Maui, XAML, Xclass. Tags app standalone May page. Tags app standalone app shell. Okay. Sure. Am I missing a local? Like, whatever. My X class. Which X class? That's the same. Come on back. There it is. Okay. So There's my title. Where's home coming from? It's coming from right there. Is that going to hide that? Let's put the Blazor web view back in. Yeah, it's not hot reloading. Developing is an art? Yes. Let's see what we get. So I have a content menu. Okay. And what I'm going to end up doing is when you click on one of these, paint this appropriately. Oh, how you doing there, Wonderball? Hello. I'm doing all right. Okay. So let's add the other menu items that I have over here to manage blocked users, which I think is more of an admin thing. And then the overlays, I don't know how those are going to appear. Yeah, and then we'll add the admin views. Okay. So blocked user. So let's add overlay and portrait overlay. Right? Menu flyout item text equals overlay. Clicked. Sure, give me a new one of those. Why can't you call it like whatever? Give me another one. Portrait overlay. Give me that. Portrait overlay clicked. And I'd really like a separator between those. Isn't there a separator? Yeah, there we go. And it should have, no, it didn't name those at all. And it was portrait overlay like that. So I'll rename that. Okay. Is this going to work if I turn this on and try to activate hot reload, right? Like, that should be a thing. Right, okay, so I get a little thing there. Okay. All right. So, can I continue editing and putting things in here? Like, right, if I have menu bar item text equals admin, right? If I just save that, is it going to appear? Is it going to hot reload that John for me? No. No. Right? No code changes found. Feels bad, man. Menu flyout item text equals blocked users. Clicked equals, give me a new event handler. Can I F2 rename that? Yeah, I know it. It is. No, you're not going to let me do that. And now I feel sad. Blocked, users clicked. Right, that sounds good. And then what are the can you console hot reload with Maui? I don't know. I don't know. These are a lot of the same thing. Can I just make this menu item clicked and end up doing some sort of a switch inside of here? Right, because these are all going to just navigate the thing, the stuff, the, you know. Debug options, XAML hot reload. Oh, look at that. It wasn't enabled. So if we do enable it, am I going to be able to do the thing and navigate around? Thank you, Gunny. Appreciate it. They're just trying to keep up with the other ecosystems of things that are growing and changing out there. Yeah. Yeah. Google Chrome broke Blazor pretty good. And everybody's in denial of it. And that makes me sad. It makes me frustrated. When you report a bug and it's like, none of these apps work anymore. And yeah, look, there it is over there. So what are the other... Thanks. I need to go back and look at... So under the admin menu, when I open... Right, so it goes into login view, and there's moderation is available for you. System admin, and then there's all the user admin stuff. So the system admin stuff is under admin index. Admin. Let's just grab the admin nav menu. Users, there are no users. Providers, we absolutely need to put that in there. The home page, which allows you to configure what we're searching for, the hashtag we're searching for. Okay. Providers, customization, and then modal customization. I feel like that could be... Well, let's just copy it over for right now and we'll get it working. So, okay. I don't care about the visual tree. I'm working here. So don't care about users. Let's put in providers, which probably we separate that. Menu, flyout item, text, providers, clicked. Yep, do that thing. So did that update and add it? Yeah, it did. Oh, look at that. What was the next one? Providers, customization. So let's call that like waterfall customization. right? Clicked, do that same thing. No, menu, flyout item. And we'll do modal customization. Oops. What did I do? I'll put it up here. Search config. Something like that. No, darn it. Menu item clicked. And there they all are. Okay. Let's go back over here and get rid of that extra one that I don't need. Right, and my thinking is, right, var menu item. Yeah, something like that, right? Menu item text switch. No, it's not parentheses on that, right? No, I'm forgetting my switch expression syntax. And then I want to then say Blazor web view. Can I say navigation? And that's a page. No, I'm going to change like the location. There's the host page. So how do I tell it to... How did Chrome break Blazor? They released an update yesterday, and the WebSocket's connection information doesn't work. I show you. Close that solution. I'm going to drop a marker here. So I'm going to show you how Chrome no longer works with Blazor server with the latest updates. It's broken out of the box. Google broke it. It works just fine in all the other browsers, but it does not work anymore. So I'm going to create a new Blazor web app application right here. Sure, I'll call it Blazor app 1. I'll just drop it in D. Okay, let's call this test Blazor server. All right, we'll create that. Interactive render mode server. I'm going to make that global so that you know it's Blazor server everywhere. All right. And I'm going to show you right off the bat how Chrome does not work with Blazor server. I'm not even going to dig into the content of the application. There it is, the default template. I want to run this. I want to browse to it. Instead of using Firefox, my trusty Firefox that I use all the time, I'm going to choose Google Chrome. Let's open that up and let's navigate to it and see things working here. Here comes Google Chrome. There it is. Boom. Broken. Right there. What's broken? I'll show you. You hit F12. And it's not able to apply batches coming in. And they're also throwing exceptions on the circuit.
Ridge Raider 42 just resubscribed for 4 months.
I'll pause so I can cut this. Thank you so much, Ridge Raider. Appreciate it. So if we take a look at the network, and we take a look at all the things coming in, we refresh. Nothing is throwing an error. we're receiving messages properly. Actually, we're not receiving messages at all. There's something more going on here. And taking a look at the WebSocket connection right there, it's not able to interact and get content. So the SignalR circuit inside of Chrome is broken. Follow-up question here from chat is, well, how about for WASM SignalR circuits? Don't know. Haven't tried that. Haven't gone down that far. But quite literally, the template out of the box no longer works with Chrome. Chrome right now is the most used browser on the internet. And every Blazor server application is broken because of Chrome. How about only SignalR? So if we... Let's try going back over to Tags app, because it uses all of that. And if I change this so we go to Tags app Blazor, open it with Chrome. Like, Google just literally broke the new Microsoft web development stuff. So here it is in Chrome. This is a static page. This is a SignalR page. That works. That is I believe that's a server page. Blazor server component. That works. Come here, you. Really? There we go. Log in with my Microsoft account, please. Sign in request to my phone. Did not come into my phone. Oh, because I didn't click the send notification yet. Too many different ways that this thing authenticates. Yes, stay signed in. Thank you. That's working just fine. That all appears to be working just fine. That's WebAssembly. That's working. But Carl Franklin and I were looking at this yesterday. There are other applications that we're using that are broken. And because I'm a Microsoft employee, I cannot log a GitHub issue for this. GitHub, ASP.NET. No, it's .NET. ASP.NET, right? Is it .NET? ASP.NET Core. Stop it. Stop it. Issues. No. No. But folks are absolutely seeing that in other places. I don't have versions before .NET 8 to be able to look at, but the default template does not work. Other projects that are Blazor server don't work. I can't log issues on a Microsoft GitHub repository. I can't even navigate to it when I'm logged in. GitHub.com.net. I can't even get in here. Really? Did they change something? They changed something. I wasn't able to click into this before. We saw this a lot here on stream. Yeah. Bug report. Where's that Chrome version? There. So we'll log the bug report here. Which version of Chrome is this? Throws errors when accessing server interactive server applications. The current version of Google Chrome throws errors when navigating to Blazor interactive server applications. Go grab those other errors. Dun, 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 dun. And if we turn on yeah. Errors in browser console. Errors in server console. Application opens and interacts with normally. Create a new Blazor application with .NET 8 using the following configuration. .NET new Blazor server. I believe that's the command that I want, because I do this a lot. There's my Blazor puzzles. .NET new. Yeah. .NET new Blazor dash int. Might as well leave it open. The detailed errors are what it shows in the console. So copy that location back over here, navigate to it, and oh, interesting. Also, that's not the SSL one. I'm trying to Control-C cancel. Thank you. Let's go. All right. What's the name? I want the SSL one. Right, I want the HTTPS launch profile. There we go. Yeah, I know. You can't find it. There you go. SSL, it doesn't work. With the SSL, with TLS enabled. Run the application with the HTTPS profile. .NET run, launch profile, HTTPS. Navigate to the base of the website in Chrome. I'll copy these and put them in the exceptions. Okay. .NET version? Sure, I'll give you a .NET version. Say that it's the same thing that you would get. .NET version is 80200. There we go. You're not getting the bug? Okay. Let them investigate it. Like, I've gone through and proved out that it breaks in the default template. So. Who was blocked? Your app is working fine. Great. We saw that if you don't use transport layer security, it goes through just fine. So, I'm going to go back. Cool. Back over to Tags app. We're working on building out the menu bar. And then, right, I have a URL. How do I pass in and tell the Blazor web app, the Blazor web view, Blazor web view. How do I tell it to navigate to a specific page? Navigate. Yeah, just navigation. The heck is this? I don't think that's it. Default URI request routing behavior. But that's if I'm inside the application. Use Blazor WebView start path property to get or set the path for initial navigation. Can be set in the main page constructor among pages and Razor components. It isn't a shell-based app, so the URI-based navigation for shell-based apps isn't suitable. Right, that kind of makes sense. Is it possible my dev cert needs renewed? .NET dev-certs. It says it's valid. Check it. Valid to June 3rd. So it's valid. No. I'm okay. All right. Use a navigation page to perform modeless or modal navigation. Okay. Navigation pop async. Hey, Warm Peas. Hello. Make sure you have the latest version of Chrome. Like, I had to check it yesterday and force it to download that latest version of Chrome. So, did I share the link to it? Yeah. There's the link to it. 123.0 is where I'm seeing it. It's desirable to connect a website and a mobile app so that links to on a website launch the mobile app. And no, that's not what I want. I don't want. I want a button in the Maui app to navigate through. That's your version? Okay. Like, Chrome patches that silently. So what was scary to me, and Carl Franklin saw this also, was we were literally working with an application, and a second later, closed the browser, worked on some things, rebuilt, reopened the browser, and we started getting this error. Like, why are we getting this error? And there's no indication. Among pages in Razor. Okay. So can I just reset the start path? Right? Like, there's the host page. So can I say Blazor Web View start path equals URL? That sounds like it works. I don't know. Is it going to push me somewhere else? Look at that. Yeah, right? Within a minute or two, Ridge Raider, you got upgraded versions. Like, okay, so there's Hello World. So if I click on one of these, I can't tell if it navigated because I've only got one page. Let's add another page. Like, I don't care. I'm just going to add a page for the sake of having another page. Components, pages. I don't care. I'm just going to add a Razor component. And I'm just going to call it page 2 dot Razor. Right? Yeah, sure. Page 2. That's all I need. So go somewhere else. No, it doesn't. Oh my gosh. And if I go back to here, so that whatever you click, you go back to page 2. Is it actually doing that? No, it's not navigating. Like, do I have to call something after start path? Do it like reload? Like, what are my options in here? Can I tell it to refresh? Like, no, that's, yeah, outside of Blazor code. Here we go. How can I change the current from Maui code? This is exactly what I'm looking for. Navigator. Huh? That's the effect that I want. So, hang on. .NET 7 is not LTS. .NET 8 is. You need to be on .NET 8 is where I'm seeing it. So it injects Navigation Manager. It's replacing the components. He's not actually navigating. And what this person has done is built a shell page to do this that has its own navigator. So uninitialized, this dot close. Where is that used? Inject Navigation Manager. Okay, we know that in Blazor. Rendering in the body if item selected equals. Where's item selected coming from? So he wrote his own navigator that takes in a parameter. Or you can tell it to go back and it interacts with things there. He wrote his own event handlers for managing the stack. Like, this is Navigation Manager that he's wrapping here. If that's the Blazor content, which it looks like, he's updating an indicator. I don't know what this close does. That's not a thing. He's adding handlers for back and navigate. But where is it receiving that navigate to? Yeah. Right, you got to pass something in. You need to interact with You need to interact with it, with the Blazor web. Like, that's pretty close. What do we have here in the documentation? Wow. Okay. How do I tell it to navigate somewhere? Yeah. There is built-in navigation. Oh, there is. It's inside the Blazor app. I want to reach into the Blazor app and say, you go navigate somewhere. Right? I want to, on the web view, specify, here's the location. Right? Like, can I don't want to change the root component. The root component is app. Not scaling, set app theme. Come back to that. And start path. Right there. Okay, Blazor WebView wraps a web view. So .NET MAUI WebView 2 navigate. I want to tell it to navigate. Display a local HTML file, and then passes in HTML. Perform navigation. Go back, go forward. Permissions on Android, blah. Set cookies, invoke JavaScript. WebView evaluate JavaScript. Like, no, that's not in there. Right? Blazor WebView is yeah, it's a Blazor WebView. Okay. So, how... I don't want to load from XAML. Like, is there... No. Is there a child property that is the WebView for us to interact with? Trying to find, like, what's it going to be here? These are all the properties and methods. I don't think it's handler. What do I get if I look at host page is just a string, which needs to be the index HTML that it's starting from. Like, what do you mean to be added? Navigation stack. And it's a navigation stack of pages. Right, so... Blazor WebView. Host page type of root components, the collection of root components, start path, defines the path for initial navigation. Like if I were to blow away the web view and put down another one, I'm not navigating. I want to navigate. I don't want to initialize. I don't want to initialized. When a hyperlink is clicked within. Access scope services from within there. Yeah, they're just available, which is kind of cool. Configure logging. No. Unhandled exceptions, globalization and localization. Accessing scope services. Over here. Yeah. No. No, I'm back in the same thing here. Yeah. Blazor web view programmatic navigation. Something like that. Hey, Blazor, Mr. Magoo. I am trying to... So we've added a menu bar here for where we're migrating the menu bar that's in Tags app into this .NET MAUI application. And when I click on one of these, I want it to navigate and go to... Yeah, it's going to break. I want it to navigate the Blazor web view to a different page. So how do I do that? Yeah, see, this person put multiple Blazor web views out there, which is like running multiple browsers. Right, I don't necessarily want multiple tabs. Are there plans to bring back the WebAssembly hosted PWA template? It's there. It is there. It's got a different name. Does DI have a navigation manager? Yes. Are you suggesting I grab the Blazor navigation manager and push it? They removed the PWA part. Sure about that? It's not Blazor web app. It's WebAssembly standalone app. WASM standalone. Progressive web application. Create. There's the manifest. Service worker. Service worker. So, they changed the name of the template. So, it's two templates now. Blazor web app, Blazor standalone WebAssembly. That isn't... So, Mr. Magoo is suggesting, can we get the navigation manager? Come here, you. Can we get that injected? Navigate to. It's URL. My bad. See what happens. Yeah, top swag code. I've seen folks run into that, and it's available. So. Yeah, I haven't done this. I haven't done this in a while either. That's why I'm forgetting all the Maui things. Yeah, it's... How do we do the dependency injection? Dependency injection in .NET MAUI. Yeah. Twitch doesn't have real-time subtitles. I have closed captioning. I have an extension that I run inside of OBS that generates the closed captioning for you. And it's native inside of Twitch. No extension needed. It just works everywhere. Yeah. Caption. Here it is. And I haven't touched this yet, and it hasn't been touched since 2022, but it just works. So for other folks that are interested in activating captions, install that in OBS, done. Literally, that's all you need. And it just works. So. So. Oh, it needs to be added as a singleton? Okay. Builder services, add singleton. Main page? I don't think that's all I need. But it'd be really cool if that was it. Starting? Wow. Okay. Looking for the URL? Yeah. Do we have a navigation manager? Yeah. WebView navigation manager has not been initialized. Oh. What if I injected the iServices? right? Services. You're not going to let me create scope? Wait a sec. That's the service. Okay. Maybe I got it wrong. There it is. Yep. Give me a scope. Scope dot service provider get required service. Yeah, that's what I thought. Navigation manager. No. What are you using on that? That'd be really cool if that just works. Is it possible to call JavaScript? That's what I was looking at also. And I'd like to avoid that. That feels like a hack. This feels a little bit more natural. Like I'm using the navigation manager that Blazor provides. Nope. WebView navigation manager has not been initialized. Okay. No. Need to use a service pass navigation to it from Blazor code. Scope service and is only available within the Blazor WebView scope. You can't inject it into a singleton. Inject your singleton into a page service and pass in the navigation manager to it. So no, oh no, Robson, no. So what I'm hearing is somewhere out here, we're going to create Navigator CS. Something like this. And we're going to inject this into where'd that? Inject your singleton into a page service. Okay, hang on. So, public, right? and public void navigate to string URL. Right. So inside home, wait a sec. Home sits in main layout. And I put my own version of layout over here. This isn't linked like home is. This is my version. So and if I create a component called navigator.razor and I inject tags app standalone navigator. Let's call it navigator service. Right? Cool. Navigation right? I can say navigator dot navigation manager equals, and if I register navigator service, no. Huh? What? Oh, navigator surface. There it is. So now back in main page, so I've created that indirection. What? You go away. Let's call this nav svc. So I'm adding a hook inside the Blazor app so that I can force it to navigate. Let's see what happens. So far, so good. Yeah! All right. Should probably have a homepage back in here also. Right? So if I go back to really? There it is. Menu, flyout item, text equals home. Clicked. What did I do? Stuff. We built a service that redirects and handles the navigation manager for us inside the Blazor app so that we can force interactions to it. So there it goes to page 2, and if I go back to home, it goes back to home. So I have menus that are navigating the Blazor web view for me without having to click it. Yeah. Okay. We're not shipping it, but I am going to commit and get this into source control at this point. Like, oh, there's an extra project in there that we can delete now. I want to remove it. I can't remove it while it's running. Do. Remove. Yep. No. Where was it? Yeah. Get rid of that thing. Thank you. It bothers me. Okay. Not got, get. Added initial menu bar. All right, so I've got a menu bar now. It does need a quick blog post. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Because I think that's much more compelling than the just add multiple Blazor web views. Like, that means you're spinning up multiple Edge browsers or Safari browsers. But that's kind of nice. Let's just move this to navigate web view. So it's pretty clear exactly what this is doing. All right. Next steps. Blog and video about the Blazor MAUI Navigator solution. Okay. So I have the homepage. I know where the homepage goes. Oh, I wanted to do status bar was the other piece that I wanted to add to this. Because, man, status bar behavior. Here we go. Provides the ability to customize the color and style of a device's status bar. Is that what they call it? Let's see what happens. Just add the code and see what happens. Cypher! Oh my gosh! Hey, how you doing there, friend? Oh, it's great to see you. That's Cypher of Tier. Hello. you're doing game development, you're writing games for, I forget which company it is. Well, I broke that. Yeah. Hello. You hate Maui, moved away from it last year? It's always getting better. Monolith, that's it. There you go. So we're working on TagZap here. And Toolkit. Oh, Toolkit. Hang on, I don't have Toolkit. Give me Toolkit. Am I missing a package? Is there something I need here? I'll give the nickel tour of where TagZap is real quick here. Yeah, why am I not getting... That feels like there's a... Right, I need the toolkit installed, but whatever. Go ahead and try that. So we're standing up, we're building a standalone application that takes in our entire web app and hosts it inside of a Windows application. Yeah, there's a doodad missing there. You know what? I could just run the Blazor app in the background, can't I? Like, just have it running in the background? Right? Like, PowerShell Freak!
PowerShell_Freak just resubscribed for 52 months.
Hello. Good to see you, PowerShell Freak. Thank you so much for the resub, and I'll make another donation to the American Cancer Society. Much appreciate. Thank you so much. 52 months with us. Man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Come on, let that build finish. Let's go. There we go. Fail on processing message. Oh, no, because I told it to fail. Yeah. That's on me. Because I put the extra logging in there. All right. Where's the local website? There it is. You were supposed to open that. There it is. Yeah. So messages that come into Twitch, pop up here. And we can moderate them immediately so that we can put them on a waterfall screen like this, where we can bring them up, discuss, and interact with them. But it doesn't work with just Twitch. I also have it wired up to listen to Mastodon, and it's looking on Mastodon and listening for the .NET hashtag. So I can wire it up to a bunch of different providers right now. Sure, we'll turn on Blue Sky. And I thought I turned on Blue Sky. Providers, Blue Sky, enabled, save. Oh, not this again. Yeah, enabled. Whatever. We'll have to go back and look at that. But we can see new messages as they arrive and on other... you see your name on screen. Why is Thindoll talking about you? Yes. So that's what we're working on, so I can grab messages from folks. This is exactly what we were seeing yesterday. We tried to debug this earlier. But there it is. And it also appears, we can make that appear as a lower third to add into things. So, why did I get a second messages? Like, there they are. Sending message to overlay. Yeah, it's doing the interaction. So if I queue up Surly Dev's message, there it is. from Twitch, from Surly Dev, and it didn't paint it on the screen. Oh, it's paused. That's why. There we go. It was in pause mode. So, right, I can, if I open the overlay, and when we open one of these, it's also over here, so I can embed this directly in my application, and now I've got a lower third that you'll be able to see over here. So there's a portrait overlay version as well. But what we're doing today is we're repackaging this app so it's not a website, but it's a standalone application that you can install in Windows, have a local database of messages that have been sent to you that you can take a look at. So, Robson, take a look at the pinned message up at the top of chat. That's the repository for the project. This is all open source. Everybody is free to download and interact with it. Why the green screen? Doesn't OBS browser support a transparent background? Yes, Johan, it does support a transparent background. There are other tools that do not. Like a TriCaster. We've used this application with the TriCaster for a Microsoft event, and we needed to drop out the background. So we used the chroma key filter to drop out the background. So what we're doing then is, right, we're setting that up. See, it's paused. We're setting that up so that it does come through automatically, right? Now there are hooks in here. Cypher, you might appreciate this. There are hooks in here to do automatic moderation. I know you've got a great team of moderators that work on your channel, and there are some things that we as streamers do to make things follower only and that kind of thing. But for this application, I wanted to add another layer on top of this. So there's a configuration option. I don't have it in the menus yet, but there's a configuration option that we used for our Microsoft events that will run every message through an AI and check for, there were 4 levels. What was it? Chat, help me out here. The Azure Content Safety Service. So there are 4 things that it looks for: hate speech, sex references, violence references, and self-harm intentions. Yeah, adult. That's what they called it, adult. Yeah. So for a big corporate event like that, I turned the sensitivity all the way up, right? I turned it to 11. So, and what it does is it never approves anything, but it rejects items here. So if we say, you know what, I don't like what Surly Dev is saying here, as a human, I can reject this. What the service will do is it will reject, and you see it puts the red up there and the rejected. But as the human moderator, if it falsely rejects something, I can still come through and say, you know what, I really want that to be approved, and I get a double confirmation here. Hang on, this was previously rejected. Are you sure? Yes, go ahead and do that. And now Surly Dev's message is available, and it appears on the waterfall screen. So, yeah. There's other things like that we want to be able to tune and interact with, add some reporting around this, because, other streamers, I know that I feel this when I get to the end of a stream. I'm going to look back at what happened in chat and what were some of the topics that folks got excited about, that folks were interested in. And Twitch gives you kind of a chart of, hey, here's the number of messages you got each minute. We've got all the messages. Let's analyze them and figure out what were the interesting things that folks talked about. Little reporting, things like that, so that when I get to the end of my stream and I do some reflection on, hey, that went really well, I can look at, well, what were people talking about that folks were interested in? Maybe there's something there and I want to tweak my content tomorrow to do a little bit more with. So, who uses other tools? Big television productions use other tools. So, yeah. So this is what we're building, and you know what? I'm just going to leave the moderation screen open here so I can come back, and when we get more questions, I can queue these up. And also, because this runs as a website, I can stand this up and have it running somewhere out on like Azure, right? Somewhere hosted. And that's what we did for .NET Conf for our Microsoft event. So I had a team of moderators that were able to navigate in here and select and put some of this stuff live for the hosts. So did I commit that Maui code? Yes. It's not in the public repo, in the shared repository. It's in a branch in my private repository at this point. So you can dig through and see that. The title up here in the corner, what it searches for on those other services, you can tune. We're adding Instagram at some point in here. We have a Discord bot that somebody from the community is working on, so that, right, when you look at like things that are posted to Mastodon, folks post images. Wouldn't it be cool if we could interact with chat and get messages with images or video posted in Discord and then loaded up in here that we can easily put on screen, right? That we can then talk about. So I put that one live, checked it, right? And, oh, there it is right here. Right? And be able to see that image with that content. Cool stuff then that we can start to think about and do. So, just trying to figure out how to do more. And I've got filters here so I can say, well, only show me the content that needs to be reviewed. Or show me just the rejected content. And I blur the text by default so that you actually have to click through and say, yes, I do want to read that, even though it was rejected. So that's TagZap. There you go in a nutshell, what we've been building, what we've been working on. I need to record what I just talked through there as the little 2-minute video and introduce this and put it on the website. So, is it a likely scenario where a mod rejects a message by accident and doesn't necessarily want it approved? At some point, maybe. I haven't run into that scenario yet. To be able to unreject something could be done. Could be done. That's not bad. So, hey, Zultra Lord, good to see you there. Hello. No, it's just not merged in. There's no reason for me to merge it with the other code yet. Do I have the LastPass Chrome extension installed? If the LastPass extension is disabled, the issue goes away. Really? I think I do have the LastPass extension installed. Yeah, there it was. LastPass, there it is. I'll respond and interact with that later. So there you go. That's a little bit of what we're working on. But the cool thing that we're trying to do is get this working in okay. So we're trying to stand this up as a desktop application. So the project command actually is Ultralord is right at the top of chat. The results of that. Is that Dung? How you doing there on YouTube? Hello, welcome. Yeah. So let me pivot this back to the desktop application. And I'm going to continue lobbing features in here. You're welcome. Hey, Phil.
Phil Vesey just resubscribed for 34 months.
Darn it, I'm done coffee. Gonna have to switch to water. All right. What's next? So I have the ability to navigate around. I need to start setting up the database, I think. Let's see here. Okay. Do I want to go? Yeah, I need to do that initial configuration, I guess. All right, we're gonna this. Oh no, I was thinking about the status bar was the thing. This status bar behavior. That's what I was trying to do, so I can provide some sort of a status feedback. This is in the .NET MAUI Community Toolkit. I don't think I want to be in there. Is there a status bar? No. Search bar, progress bar. Right, that little status bar that's at the bottom of the applications. Yes. Twitch is changing how you interact with chat. So there is a socket that you're going to listen to get chat messages, and the only way to send messages is through that socket, through that API now. The IRC interaction is not there. They're removing that. Is it on the navigation page? I can put a status bar. Well, I'm inside a shell at this point. So is there a property on the shell? Right? No, I don't want to do authentication. No. So fly out items. I don't really care about that. Pages, navigation, search. Windows? I'm going to need multi-window support because I'm going to want to open the profile, the pages, the blue pages, the red pages, blue pages. That's a missed joke. I'm going to want to open them in a new window. Not terrible. And then I would set a different start page for that. I could just do that as a new page that's specific to that has a different Blazor web view in it. Right? This begs the question then, can I run... No, I don't need SignalR inside this. Instead, I'm going to have just a service that pushes messages back and forth. The plot thickens. This is going to be a lot more development than I thought. crap. It didn't work the way I thought it would. Better. Moving on. So, okay, so maybe I don't have a status bar at the bottom. Fine. All right, fine. I thought .NET MAUI footer status bar, right? I mean, I guess, do I need the .NET MAUI? I don't want a devices status bar. I want a status bar in the application, you know? Oh well. Not going to dig into it further. You like the change? Okay. You're drinking water? Absolutely. Switch to coffee. Switch to coffee. It'll go a long way. So we can get rid of that. I think we're going to need this open. Don't need that. Okay. I need to start bringing in the database and the configuration, and this is not going to be easy. Right? In here. And part of me says just force it to use SQLite. Because I'm local. Yeah. Let's do builder dot add tags app. Builder dot configuration. Public static class program extensions. Public static. What is builder? MAUI app builder. Add tags app. This MAUI app builder. Configuration. And then return builder. I don't need that because I'm bringing in builder. So go back to builder configuration, builder services. Sure. Is this using Blazor Hybrid? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's about to get a little nuts. Know what I mean? So I've got one method to add the tags app services. These other things that are specific to... I don't even need that. Actually, no, that's mine. We're going to move you. I like this. I like getting a little uncomfortable with some of the things that I haven't done before. To do, analyze how this interacts with the app configuration from configure tags app factory. There's something going to be there. Or the pages in another project, some used by WebAssembly. Oh yes, oh yes. And I'm bringing them over, and I'm changing the services that they depend on, so that they're appropriate for a native application, not a web application. I'm not going to use Postgres on Skippy's computer that they're going to install this on. No, I'm going to use SQLite and run it locally. I'm not going to use SignalR inside a desktop app. I'll use a shared singleton that has events that's pushing messages back and forth into pages, so on and so forth. So, this should still build. We're nearing the end of our time together, and quite frankly, I need to get something to eat. I'm getting a little bit of a headache. There it is, building. System reactive, that could be done also. Yeah. Build succeeded. Cool. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't think it's going to work. It might work. It might not work. I don't know. See what happens. But I'm pretty much going to call it here. Yeah, still in, still works, and it does my cheesy navigation that isn't really navigation. So let me wrap that up here. I'm getting a little bit of a headache. I'm sure I'm a little dehydrated and certainly a little bit hungry. So let me wrap things up right here. I'll stop tags app. That didn't cancel. Let's see here. Yep, add all those things. Moving feature configuration to separate files. Ooh. All right. A little bit of Git packing. Push those updates. Fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of that, of today's stream. Thank you for following along. Thank you for helping. There's definitely a couple things that we had a hard time figuring out there that I want to blog about. I want to record just a little video that shows, hey, here's how to do this thing if you're trying to do this. Thank you so much, Mick Clear 707. Appreciate you joining us there on Twitch. I'll record and get something pushed out to the YouTube channel a little bit later today and to the blog. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you being here. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected with that might be doing something fun, something that developers are interested in. Let me take a look. I haven't rated him in a little bit. Let's go over to Jason Lengsdorf, who is talking about custom plugins in Figma. Looks like he's giving a presentation at an event or something. So let's set up that raid. I'm not even going to put in the raid call. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be back. I should be back tomorrow, and we'll do a little bit of Overwatch gaming tomorrow. It's Friday. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's play. Let's hang out. Grab a beverage, hang out, talk, and have a good time talking tech, and blasting the bad guys. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Get ready to say hi to Jason Langsdorf. Really appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, there's lots of great videos that are available for you. Take a look at my playlist of live videos, live streams that are here. There's lots of great content from previous live streams where we've been coding. All right? Have an excellent rest of your day. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.